Having some issues with my diesel heater. Just wondering if the exhaust is supposed to be glowing red like that. Oh, that's flames. I'm glad I was out here when that happened, because that could have been very bad. It's wonderful. You'll get it. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Lowered Expectations. Thanks for lowering your expectations and hanging out with me here. I really do appreciate it. Before we get into the safety warning, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who's been supporting me, whether that's subscribing to my channel, leaving likes on the videos, or getting involved in the comments, leaving suggestions and all that stuff. It definitely helps, so thank you very much. I appreciate it. And now for the safety warning. I'm going to be doing some silly things with my heater, trying to get it to burn waste motor oil, and I would absolutely suggest that you do not do the same. Follow your manufacturer's recommendations, whether that be the fuel they tell you to burn, the way they tell you to install it, or the way they tell you to operate it. Doing what you see me do could get you injured or killed, or damage your property, so don't do what I do, because that would not be good. Some of you may already be aware that I purchased this heater from VEVOR using my own money. After doing so, I made some videos on it. VEVOR saw those videos and asked me if I wanted to work with them. I said yes, and as a result, there is now an affiliate link in the description below. If you guys are interested in getting a heater that is similar to mine, if you use that link, I get a small kickback and that helps me out. There is also a coupon code for $10 off and another coupon code for 5% off store-wide. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, all of the information is in the description below. Up until now, this series on my diesel heater has been about trying to show you guys in detail the struggles that I've gone through while trying to burn waste motor oil in my heater. If I've done 4 tests on the heater, then I've shown you guys the 4 tests, and I try to show everything in the order that it happened. Some of these tests are getting quite repetitive, and so that I don't lose a bunch of my audience through boredom, I'm going to cut out some of that fluff. So I'm still going to continue on with the same tests. If I do a test, I will show you guys, but if I do it 4 times, I'm going to cut a bunch of the fluff out, show you guys the test that did or didn't work, and then we can move on from there. I felt like I needed to tell you guys this in honesty because I know a lot of you really don't care, but I want to make sure that I'm not making this look easier than it is, or I'm not being deceptive to anybody. In the last video, I tried restricting airflow over the heat exchanger, trying to raise the temperature of the heater and make it burn cleaner. I also tried feeding some hot air into the inlet, and neither of those things worked. In this video, I'm going to do some modifications to the burn chamber to try to get a little bit more airflow through it, and I'm also going to do some porting on the inlet and exhaust, once again to try to get a little bit more airflow. Will these things work? I don't know, but we're going to give it a try. This video starts off with me drilling some holes. I now have the burn chamber all cleaned up, and I'm going to do a bit of an experiment. If it doesn't work out, I can either undo it by welding, or I can just buy another burn chamber, which I might do anyway because it'd be nice to have an extra one around to play with. So what I'm going to do, I've got this drill bit that is the same size as the flame initiation hole, and I'm going to drill, I think I'm going to start off with 4 holes in through the face of whatever this part is called here. Okay, so today is Saturday, December 30th, and the heaters worked last night. I put some fuel in it. I'll show you guys in a second here how much it burnt. And then this morning around 9:30, Megan came out to the garage, said that there was a lot of smoke. I looked at the remote and it was down to 166 Celsius. So I shut the heater off. And then once she was gone, he decided to try to restart it without coming out in the garage, and that was a failure. I tried to start it twice, it wouldn't start. I don't even remember what I'm saying anymore, but the heater, I fired it back up, and It seems to be working okay now. The temperature is up to about 208. So I'm gonna let it run again. 220, 218. Again, I don't care. I'm gonna go in, edit some video, leave it run, and we'll see what happens. This is how much fuel it burnt. So this is what I've come out to. The garage is pretty nasty. I'm gonna actually fire up the heater and try to warm it up and burn some of it out. Looks, oh, that's interesting. A lot of white cakey stuff. That's quite interesting. So what I didn't tell you guys is that before I shut it off this time, or as I shut it off, I actually got the compressor going, the air compressor, and I hooked the nozzle up to the inlet. And I used a regulator so that I wouldn't just blow the flame out. And I actually blew some air in through the inlet and kept it running for a while, burning up excess fuel as it was shutting off. And it actually ran for quite a while, burning up the excess fuel. I'm pretty sure the reason why it looks so much different in here is because, like I say, I blew some compressed air into it as it was shutting down. And I think that helped consume a bunch of stuff. So that is kind of promising. That means if I can get a controller that I can control the speed of the blower on, once I get it running, I can ramp the speed up to 5,000 RPM, run it at full speed, and hopefully that will make a difference. Let's see what the consistency of this stuff is here. That stuff, pretty predictable. That stuff in there kind of looks like it's going to be really soft. So the white stuff definitely was on top. Most of you who follow this channel are following it because of the heater and not because you watch my other channel, that being the Joel Arsenault YouTube channel. But on that channel I do jet ski modifications. I do a lot of custom jet ski building. And well, I've decided that I'm going to do a little bit of porting on this. We're over here in the porting area now. I've got this cylinder off a twin cylinder 1000cc engine. This is a Australian made KV997, a Crash KV997. So I just finished up that. I'm gonna move it out of the way and get this stuff ready to go. Put on my safety glasses. And I've got a steel cutting tip in here, but it might be okay for what we're doing. If I'm doing a big job, I will use hearing protection, but I don't know if I'll need it for this, so we'll see how much noise this heat exchanger actually probably going to make quite a bit of noise. So. Hopefully the camera can pick up on this. I smoothened out the transition, removed a little bit of those two fins right before the exhaust, and opened it up a little bit. Now I'm going to move on to the inlet. There we have it, not a big difference. I took a little bit of a casting seam. I made this corner a little bit more rounded, and I made the transition a little bit more smooth. So I've got the heat exchanger ported out, I've got the fan housing ported out. Let's put this thing together, make some boost, and make some big heat. Mr. Quasar. I know a bunch of you didn't see the YouTube short or community post that I made yesterday, so I thought I would show you guys what I put in that community post because a bunch of you had suggested that I try some different additives and chemicals, and so I went out and purchased some of that stuff. I have some methanol, which I partly got because you guys suggested it, but also because I just wanted to try running this thing on pure methanol. And so I got that kind of for myself and kind of because it was suggested. I also got some of this stuff, which is Lucas Deep Clean. It is particulate filter cleaner. This was suggested by several people. It is supposed to help break down carbon and other deposits, and so I decided to try some of that. I also got a bottle of Redline 85 Plus diesel fuel catalyst, which has cetane booster and fuel lubricant. I am most interested to see what this does because it has the cetane booster in it, and yeah, I'm curious to see what that does. I am currently doing a test where I am burning clean motor oil to see if it is actually the junk in the used motor oil that is causing the problem or the motor oil itself. To make this test more interesting, I actually put a thermocouple on the burn chamber so we can keep track of those temperatures. And I'm excited to show you guys that video, but that will be in the future. Ready, set, go. It's about to go nuclear. I've actually had a special controller built for this because I knew this controller wasn't going to be able to keep up. So it's actually running right now at 220 Celsius. So that's just idling at 220. Once it starts up, we'll probably see it go to 2,000 something. But anyway, at least 1,900. Ooh, that sounds aggressive. She's gonna start building boost. Oh boy. I'm ready to do a pull. Gonna warm it up and then we're gonna do some pulls. Oh man, look at that. 860 Celsius, 900 Celsius, 940. It is building boost quick. (1,240 Celsius). This thing is a beast. I've also had to have special insulation made for the case so that it doesn't melt. I can hold my hand right on this thing at 1,500 Celsius. Look at that, 1,500 Celsius. I can hold my hand right on this thing. That's because I actually had the case lined in special insulation from NASA. Incredible. It seems to have stabilized around 2,120. Somewhere around 2,100 Celsius. And it's starting to slow down now, so I'm gonna actually juice it up to setting 6. My first clip of 2023 for me, but for you guys, you will have seen lots of me. But yeah, I just came out. It is 1 in the morning, somewhere around there, and I came out to check on the heater. Based on the remote, it seemed to be doing fine. It was running around 208 Celsius. And so I came out into the garage, and as soon as I opened the door, it was a thick fog in here. And oddly enough, it smells really, really strong like diesel. And so I'm not exactly sure why it does it. Sometimes all the smoke goes out through my vents, and I know I should just have the exhaust run outside, but I don't. So, oh, by the way, even though there was a thick fog in here of diesel smoke, very, like, you could taste it. You can still see some of it even after I opened the garage door for like 3 or 4 minutes. My carbon monoxide detector was not beeping. It's still not beeping. It hasn't beeped at all, so yeah. This is how much fuel it burnt. I came out, filled it all the way up to the rim, and that's how much it's burnt. So not even half, maybe half a liter, maybe. That's what it looks like inside of there. Pretty bad, but not as bad as it's been in the past. So I'm pretty sure what happened is it just wasn't making enough heat to keep going, so it just flamed out because it couldn't build enough heat. A bunch of people have suggested that I should heat the oil before it goes into the burn chamber, and I thought of a couple of different ways to do that. A bunch of people have suggested that I wrap copper tubing or something around the exhaust. I'm not going to do that for a few reasons. One is that it's highly unstable. The temperature changes drastically, and it's going to be too hot. There's too much heat in the exhaust, and it's actually going to cook off the oil. And when it vaporizes the oil and cooks it off, what's going to happen, those gases expand. It will push a whole bunch of oil into the chamber and either flood it or make it flame out or make it get extremely hot. The hotter it gets, the hotter the exhaust will get, and it's just going to kind of run out of control, and then it will just shut off because then it'll feed a big air bubble or gas bubble into the burn chamber instead of fuel that was supposed to be fed. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to try running, I have a piece of this brake tube, hard line, bunch of different names for it. I'm going to try running this through the fins on the heat exchanger, and that way I know that the heat of the oil can never exceed 230 Celsius, which is probably too hot anyway, but I know that it can't exceed that, and I will know at what temperature it is actually being injected. There are times when you could use the exhaust to heat the fuel, but one of the issues with this is that it burns such a small amount of fuel that it's going to spend a lot of time in contact with that heat, and it's going to cook off. I don't think there's any way for that to work with this. That's plumbing solder. You're not a real mechanic. Says he's a mechanic and he doesn't even know what proper solder is. This guy's an idiot. Yep. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please remember to leave it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of this content, be sure to subscribe. If you guys have suggestions or ideas for me, be sure to leave them in the comments below. I read and try to respond to every comment, although after a while YouTube will stop sending me notifications, and so I have to scroll through and actually look for people who I haven't responded to and then respond to you. So if I've missed your comment, I apologize. Leave another one and I will try to get back to you. In the next video in this series, I'm going to be doing something that many of you have recommended, and that is preheating the oil. I am, however, not going to be using the exhaust to do this because it turns out that that is dangerous. Once again, I have partnered with VEVOR, and as a result, there is an affiliate link to a heater that is similar to mine. If you guys use that link to purchase the heater, I get a small kickback, and that helps me out. There's also a coupon code for $10 off. I believe it is VVS10. And there's also another coupon code, VVPromo, which gives you 5% off store-wide. If you guys are interested in any of that stuff, information in the description below. That is going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.